Today we will study what is truss, what are the assumptions made in the analysis of truss, and we are going to derive the elemental stiffness matrix for a truss element. First we will see what is truss. See, truss is an engineering structure made up of number of bars connected by means of welded joints or by bolts or rivets and pins. Truss, it is made up of number of bars. These bars are connected together by means of welded joints or by bolts or by rivets and pins to form a structure. These structure which is formed by connecting number of bars are called as trusses. Truss is an engineering structure made up of number of bars connected by means of welded joints or by bolts, rivets and pins. See, truss is an engineering structure made up of a number of bars connected by means of welded joints or by bolts, rivets and pins. See here, trusses will be like this. This is an example for truss structure. See here, these trusses are made up of number of bars. You can see here, this structure is made up of number of bars. These bars are connected at their ends by using bolts or by using welded joints or rivets or pins. The example for trusses are, best example is the mobile tower and sides of the steel bridges or towers that carry electricity wires. So these are some of the examples for trusses. Next we will study the assumptions made in the analysis of truss. Assumptions made in the analysis of truss. There are few assumptions made for the analysis of the trusses. First assumption is, all members of the truss are connected together at their ends by frictionless pin joints. Truss is a structure which is made up of number of bars. So you can see here, truss is a structure which is made up of number of bars. These bars are connected at their ends by means of frictionless pin joints. This is the first assumption. All members of the truss are connected together at their ends by frictionless pin joints. All members of the truss are connected together at their ends by frictionless pin joints. This is the first assumption. All members of the truss are connected together at their ends by frictionless pin joints. Second assumption is a truss member is a two-force member, that is, each of the member is subjected to either tensile force or compressive force. This truss, it is a two-force member, means each truss member means each bar in the truss structure is a two-force member, means it can be either subjected to tensile force or it is subjected to compressive force. Since it will take only two types of force, one is tensile force, one more is compressive force, this truss member is called as two-force member. See, second assumption, a truss is a two-force member, that is, each of the member is subjected to either tension or compression. This is the second assumption, that is, a truss is a two-force member. Third assumption is, in truss the loads are always assumed to be applied at the joints. See here, in trusses loads are always applied at the joints only. See, these are the joints, always loads are applied at these joints. So the third assumption is, in truss the loads are always assumed to be applied at the joints. In truss the loads are always assumed to be applied at the joints. These are the three assumptions made in the analysis of truss. First is, all members of the truss are connected together at their ends by frictionless pin joint. Second assumption, a truss is a two-force member, that is, each of the truss member is subjected to either tension or compression. Third assumption is, in truss the loads are always assumed to be applied at the joints. So these are the assumptions in the analysis of truss. Now see here how these trusses are modeled in finite element analysis. So in finite element analysis, the trusses are modeled by using a 1D bar element. Now I will show you the representation of truss element in local and global coordinate system. This is a truss element which is considered in local coordinate system. See, this is node number 1, this is node number 2. See, in local coordinate system, the coordinate is represented by x dash. See, this x dash runs along the length of the element from node number 1 to node number 2. See, if you consider this truss in local coordinate system, each node has got only 1 degrees of freedom. Means at node 1 the displacement will be q1 dash, and at node 2 the displacement will be q2 dash. So if you represent truss in local coordinate system, each node has got only 1 degrees of freedom, q1 dash for node number 1 and q2 dash for node number 2. Next, I am going to represent the same truss element in global coordinate system. See, we will consider truss in global coordinate system. This is node number 1, node number 2. We know that the global coordinate is represented by x and y, which is fixed irrespective of the orientation or number of element in the structure. This is global coordinate system. See here, if we consider the truss element in global coordinate system, each node has got 2 degrees of freedom. That is, in x direction the displacement will be q1 for node 1. Similarly, in y direction the displacement will be q2 for node 1. Similarly, for node 2 the displacement in x direction will be q3, and in y direction the displacement will be q4. See here, in global coordinate system, each node has got 2 degrees of freedom. Node number 1 q1 q2, and at node number 2 q3 and q4. So this is the representation of the truss in global coordinate system. See the difference here. If we consider truss element in local coordinate system, each node has got only 1 degrees of freedom. At node 1 the displacement will be q1 dash, and at node 2 the displacement is q2 dash. If we consider the same truss element in global coordinate system, each node has got 2 degrees of freedom. Node 1 displacement is q1 q2, and at node 2 the displacement is q3 and q4. So this is the representation of truss element in local and global coordinate system. Next is derivation of elemental stiffness matrix for a truss element. Derivation of elemental stiffness matrix. Derivation of elemental stiffness matrix for truss element. See here, I will consider a truss element. See, this is node number 1, this is node number 2. See, upon loading, this truss will be displaced to a new position. This is the new position of the truss after applying the load. So this is node number 1, this is node number 2. Now if you consider the truss in local coordinate system, it is represented by x dash. See, node 1 is displaced from here to here. Similarly, node 2 is displaced from here to here. Now the displacement of node 1 with respect to this local coordinate system will be this is the displacement of node 1 in local coordinate system, means from it is displaced from here to here with respect to x dash. This I will take as q1 dash. Similarly, the displacement of node 2 will be see here, this will be the displacement of node 2 with respect to x dash, means with respect to this local coordinate system I will take it as q2 dash. Now q1 dash is the displacement of node 1 and q2 dash is the displacement of node 2 with respect to x dash, means with respect to the local coordinate system. So we can write, let q1 dash and q2 dash be the displacement of node 1 and 2 with respect to local coordinate system. Therefore, the displacement vector in local coordinate system is given by q dash is equal to q1 dash q2 dash. This is the displacement vector of the truss element in local coordinate system, that is q dash is equal to q1 dash q2 dash. Now if we consider the displacement of node 1 and 2 with respect to the global coordinate system. See here, the global coordinate system is represented by x and y. Node 1 is displaced from here to here, means in x direction. This is the displacement of node 1 in x direction. We will take it as q1. Similarly, the displacement of node 1 along y direction. This is the displacement of node 1 in y direction. We will take it as q2. Similarly, the displacement of node 2 with respect to x direction. This is the displacement of node 2 with respect to this x. This we will take it as q3. Similarly, in y direction, this is the displacement of node 2 in y direction. This displacement we will take q4. So q1 and q2 are the displacement of node 1 in global coordinate system. Similarly, q3 and q4 are the displacement of node 2 in global coordinate system. So we can write, let q1 and q2 be the displacement of node 1 and q3 and q4 be the displacement of node 2 in the global coordinate system. Therefore, we can write the elemental displacement vector in the global coordinate system. Q is equal to q1, q2, q3, q4. This is the elemental displacement vector in global coordinate system. Now we will take the orientation of this truss with respect to the horizontal as theta. Similarly, here also it will be theta. Theta is the inclination or the orientation of truss element with respect to the horizontal. Now see here, I will draw a line from here perpendicular to this line. See here, this is the line which is perpendicular to this element. Similarly here, this line will be perpendicular to this line. Now see this triangle. This angle is theta. This is 90 degree. This is a right angle triangle. Now in this is opposite side, this is adjacent side, and this is hypotenuse. Now what about this length? If you want this length, you have to take cos theta because it is the adjacent side. So if you take cos theta, so this length will be Q1 cos theta. Now what about this length? Now see this smaller triangle. See here, I will extend this line up to here. Now if you see this small triangle, this angle is theta. So this is opposite side. This will be the adjacent side. This will be hypotenuse. So if you want this length, you have to take here sin theta. If you take sin theta, so this length will be, I will represent here, it will be Q2 sin theta. Similarly, if you come here, see the triangle, bigger triangle, this angle is theta, this is 90 degree, this is hypotenuse, opposite side, and this is adjacent side. Now if you want to find out this length, you have to take cos theta. So this length will be, this is Q3, so Q3 cos theta. Similarly, if you want to find out this length, you have to see this triangle. So this angle will be theta, this is opposite side, this is hypotenuse, this is adjacent side. If you want this length, you have to take here sin theta. So if you take sin theta, this length will be, I will write it here, so this length will be Q4 sin theta. So therefore here this length Q1 dash will be equal to Q1 cos theta plus Q2 sin theta. If you add these two lengths, you will get this. Similarly here Q2 dash will be equal to Q3 cos theta plus Q4 sin theta. If you add these two, you will get Q2 dash. So from figure you can write, from figure we can write Q1 dash is equal to Q1 cos theta plus Q2 sin theta. Similarly, Q2 dash is equal to Q3 cos theta plus Q4 sin theta. Now I will take cos theta is equal to L and sin theta is equal to M, where this L and M are called as direction cosines. See, this L and M are called as direction cosines. Now I will substitute cos theta is equal to L and sin theta is equal to M in the above equation. Therefore we will get, therefore Q1 dash is equal to Q1 L plus Q2 M. Similarly, Q2 dash is equal to Q3 L plus Q4 M. See here, these two equations can be written in the form of matrix. See, above equations, above equation can be written in the form of matrix as, see here, I will write these two equations in the form of matrix Q1 dash Q2 dash is equal to L M 0 0 0 0 L M into Q1 Q2 Q3 Q4. See, now if you multiply this, we will get these two equations. See, or I can write Q dash is equal to L into See where L is equal to L M 0 0 0 0 L M. So this I have taken as L. So this is called as transformation matrix. Transformation matrix. So this matrix is called as transformation matrix. So we have taken cos theta is equal to L and sin theta is equal to M. I told you these two are called as direction cosines. Now how to find out the direction cosines and length of the element. See here, to find direction cosines, that is L and M, and effective length of element, that is LE. Now we need the formula to find out the direction cosine L and M and also the length of the element. Now I will consider the same truss element. See here, this is the truss element what I have considered. This is node number 1, node number 2. So for node number 1, the coordinates will be x1, y1, and for node number 2, the coordinates will be x2, y2. This is angle theta. Now what about this length? This length will be x2 minus x1, and this length will be y2 minus y1. x2 minus x1, and this is y2 minus y1. Now what about this length? Length is we have taken LE, that is effective length of the element. We have taken cos theta is equal to L. If you see this right angle triangle, cos theta is adjacent side by hypotenuse. Adjacent side is x2 minus x1 and hypotenuse is LE. So cos theta is equal to L is equal to x2 minus x1 by effective length LE of the element. Similarly, we have taken sin theta is equal to M. If you see the same figure, sin theta will be opposite side by hypotenuse. Opposite side is y2 minus y1, hypotenuse is LE. So sin theta is equal to M is equal to y2 minus y1 by L. So this is the formula to find out L and M. L is x2 minus x1 by L and M is y2 minus y1 by LE, effective length. Now what is the formula to find out the length of the element LE? If you apply the Pythagoras theorem, you can find out the effective length LE. So effective length LE is equal to root of x2 minus x1 whole square plus y2 minus y1 whole square. This is by applying the Pythagoras theorem. This is the formula to find out the effective length of the element. See, we know that truss is a 1D bar element when it is considered in local coordinate system. See, truss is a 1D bar element when it is considered is equal to AE by LE 1 minus 1 minus 1 1. So this is the elemental stiffness matrix for a truss element when it is considered in local coordinate system. But we need the elemental stiffness matrix for a truss element in global coordinate system. See, we know the elemental strain energy for a truss element in local coordinate system. See here, elemental strain energy for a truss element in local coordinate system is given by, see, U is equal to half Q dash transpose K dash Q dash. See, this is the elemental strain energy equation for a truss element in local coordinate system. This equation we have seen while deriving the stiffness matrix for 1D bar element. Here I have considered Q dash and K dash because it is in local coordinate system. That's why I have considered dash. So this equation I will take it as equation number 1. See, we know that Q dash is equal to L into Q. Just now we have derived this Q dash is equal to L into Q. This Q dash is equal to L into Q. I will substitute in equation number 1. Substituting in equation 1, we will get U is equal to half into Q dash is equal to LQ. So L into Q transpose into K dash into Q dash. It is L into Q, or U is equal to half into Q transpose L transpose K dash L into Q. I will take this as equation number 2. Now, so if you compare equation number 1 and 2, here this L transpose K dash L will be equal to K, which is the elemental stiffness matrix for truss in global coordinate system, because here in place of Q dash we have Q. Q means it is in the global coordinate system. So comparing equation 1 and 2, we can write K is equal to L transpose K dash into L, where this K is called as elemental stiffness matrix in global coordinate system, where K is elemental stiffness matrix in global coordinate system. See, we know that L is equal to L M 0 0 0 0 L M, and if you take this transpose of this, that is L transpose is equal to, it will be L 0 M 0 0 L 0 M. So here in this equation, if you substitute L transpose K dash and L, and if you simplify, you will get the elemental stiffness matrix K. See, first I will take L transpose into K dash. See here, L transpose into K dash is equal to L transpose is L 0 M 0 0 L 0 M into K dash. K dash is AE by L 1 minus 1 minus 1 1. If you multiply these two matrix, we will get L transpose into K dash is equal to AE by L outside, and inside we will get, see here, L into 1 plus 0 into minus 1, it will be L. Similarly, L into minus 1 plus 0 into 1, it will be minus L. Next, M into 1 plus 0 into minus 1, it is M. Next, M into minus 1 plus 0 into 1, it is minus M. Next, 0 into 1 plus L into minus 1, it is minus L. Next, 0 into minus 1 plus L into 1, it is L. Similarly, 0 into 1 plus M into minus 1, it is minus M. 0 into minus 1 plus M into 1, it is M. This is L dash K dash. Next, we need L transpose K dash L, which is equal to AE by L, L minus L, M minus M minus L, L minus M, M into L, which is equal to L M 0 0 0 0 L M. See, L transpose K dash L is nothing but K, that is elemental stiffness matrix, is equal to AE by L. Here we will take LE, effective length of the element. So LE, if you multiply these two, see here, L into L plus minus L into 0, it will be L square. Next, L into M plus minus L into 0, it will be L M. Next, L into 0 plus minus L into L, it will be minus L square. Next, L into 0 plus minus L into M, it will be minus L into M. Next, M into L plus minus M into 0, it will be L M. Next, M into M plus minus M into 0, it will be M square. Next, M into 0 plus minus M into L, it is minus L M. Next, M into 0 plus minus M into M, it will be minus M square. Next, minus L into L plus L into 0, it will be minus L square. Next, minus L into M plus L into 0, it will be minus L M. Next, minus L into 0 plus L into L, it is L square. Next, minus L into 0 plus L into M, it is L M. Next, minus M into L plus M into 0, it is minus L into M. Next, minus M into M plus M into 0, it is minus M square. Next, minus M into 0 plus M into L, it is L into M. Next, minus M into 0 plus M into M, it is M square. This is the expression for elemental stiffness matrix. Again, you can see here, it is a symmetric matrix. So this is the expression for elemental stiffness matrix for a truss element. I have to remember this to solve the problem. So this is the elemental stiffness matrix for the truss element. So next is expression for stress for a truss element. It is element stress matrix. See, we know that truss is a 1D bar element when you consider it in local coordinate system. See, we know that truss in the local coordinate is equivalent to 1D bar element. Therefore, we can write stress sigma is equal to E into epsilon, or sigma is equal to E into epsilon is Q2 dash minus Q1 dash divided by effective length of the element. This you can write in the form of matrix as sigma is equal to E by LE minus 1 1 into Q1 dash Q2 dash. This is in local coordinate system, but we want in global coordinate system. This you can write sigma is equal to E by LE minus 1 1. This is Q dash, or sigma is equal to E by LE minus 1 1. Q dash is nothing but L into Q, or sigma is equal to E by LE minus 1 1. L is L M 0 0 0 0 L M into Q1 Q2 Q3 Q4. So if we simplify this, we will get sigma is equal to E by LE. I will multiply these two matrix. We will get, see here minus 1 into L plus 1 into 0, it is minus L. Next, minus 1 into M plus 1 into 0, it is minus M. Next, minus 1 into 0 plus 1 into L, it is L. Next, minus 1 into 0 plus 1 into M, it is M, into Q1 Q2 Q3 Q4. This is the equation to find out stress. You have to remember two formulas. One is elemental stiffness matrix and elemental stress matrix to find out stress in the element. Thank you.